might be the best friends to lovers book that I've read, and I have cried reading it a few times. He is a big acts of service man, and I love him. Hello guys, welcome back to my channel. This week we are going to read some new summer romances. Woo! Pretend that I was holding 3 books because I did buy a third one to read this week. It's just not here yet. That one is The Summer of Second Chances, I think. I don't remember the author's name, but hopefully I'll be able to get to it. Hopefully, I'm hoping to at least finish 2 of these books. Hopefully. It'd be awesome to finish all 3 this week, but we'll see. I wanted to do a little recap of my reading this year. I counted today and I am at 68 books, I believe, which is the most books I've read in a year ever. I think last year I read 50. Is that right? I'm not sure. So my favorite genre is contemporary romance. I loved a found family type of book. My favorite series are the Addicted series, Boys of Tommen, the Selection series, if you've read those. I read those when I was in high school, and I've reread them multiple times since then. I think they're great books. I feel like there's another one that I'm forgetting. So one of the main reasons that I am at 68 books is because I read a series that has 51 books in it. It's the Forever and Ever series, I believe, by E.L. Todd. I've never heard of these books being talked about on social media at all. It's a pretty old series, I think. My aunt reads a lot of books and she recommended the series to me. And it was fine. It's a fine series. It was fine enough that I kept reading every book. The books are pretty short, 100 something pages, I think. But things were quite repetitive. The writing wasn't the best. Yeah, that's what I'll say about that. Would I recommend these books to someone? Not really. So I finished those in June, I believe, and it's July now, almost August, and I've read a few more books after that series, which was nice. I was excited to start reading books that I actually enjoy. I just jumped into reading Abby Jimenez books after that, and Abby Jimenez is a great author, so I loved all those books. And then we're gonna get to read this Abby Jimenez book this week, and then we have a Carly Fortune book to read this week, which is exciting. So let's do, how am I gonna decide which one to read first? I'm really itching to read the new Abby Jimenez book, but I think for that reason I'm gonna start with Our Perfect Storm, so then I'll be pushing through to get to a book that I'm still looking forward to. So let's start this book. I'm about to start chapter 6, and I am already hooked by the book. I am already getting that addicted feeling where I'm having a hard time putting the book down. I wanted to mention that there is another book that I'm in the middle of. It's Wild Eyes, which is the second book in the Rose Hill series by Elsie Silver. For some reason, I've read 2 other series, I think, by Elsie Silver, so I'm pretty accustomed to her writing style and the genre she, like the type of book she writes. And I don't know if I'm just not liking Wild Eyes, or I feel like I'm just finding it a little boring. So it's been taking me a little bit to finish the book, so hopefully taking a break from it and starting these books will help me get back to them, because like I've seen online that Wild Eyes is kind of a favorite in the series. I just feel like not a lot has happened in the book, but maybe I'm just in a reading slump or something, and that's why I'm not liking it that much. But it kind of makes me want to reread it at some point, but definitely won't be doing that anytime soon. And I think once I finish Wild Eyes, I'll just take a pause in that series, possibly. We'll see, but I am loving Our Perfect Storm, and I am at the point in the book where there shouldn't be a spoiler because it literally says it in the description of the book, but I'm at the point where the main female character's groom called off the wedding, so things are getting interesting. Okay, I'm gonna read at least one more chapter right now. So I have made it to chapter 12. I'm loving the book so far. I think the characters' banter seems to be really good, and yeah, no complaints so far. A fun fact about me is that to get my steps in, I will just pace in my apartment instead of going outside if I don't feel like going outside. So we are going to walk around my apartment and listen to the audiobook on Spotify. So I've kind of done a terrible job updating as I was reading, but I am to the last couple chapters of Our Perfect Storm, and I really love this book. I think it's amazing. I think Carly Fortune is a great writer, and this might be this might be the best friends to lovers book that I've read. Like, I like it so much, and if you've read this book, like toward the last couple chapters, there's just a part like that is so sweet and adorable, and like I was literally like crying listening to it, and it's really good. But I'll be leaving soon to go get my nails done. I have my engagement photos in 2 days that I'll be getting done, so I'm getting my nails done, which I haven't got my nails done like professionally since I was in elementary school, so I'm pretty excited about it. I'm just doing a gel manicure, and I'm gonna get just a good old classic French tip. This is what the nails look like right now. And then I'll show you guys the after when I am back. But I made a smoothie, and I think the book looks so aesthetic next to it. Isn't that so cute? Boom. I would say like majority of it I've listened to in the audiobook, and I'd highly recommend the audiobook. The book, the POV is just the main female character, but in the audiobook they have a male voice actor anytime the male main character is speaking, which I really enjoy. Hello guys, unfortunately it is the next day, but I wanted to show you my nails. I think they look great. I just got a gel manicure, and for my technically pretty much my first manicure ever, it went really well, and I'm kind of tempted to get my nails done every month. But I have been saving the last 2 or 3 chapters in Our Perfect Storm to read right now, so let's finish the book. Okay guys, I finished Our Perfect Storm, and I think I really loved it. I really enjoyed it. I was never bored during it. It was so good. It was really good, and I cried during it, so happy tears, of course. And if a book doesn't make me cry happy tears, is it really a good book, you know? So I'm gonna give this book 5 stars. I actually just created a new rating system because I just needed to write out clearly what each amount of stars meant, so I can have an easier time rating books, because I didn't write out what each amount of stars meant to me like before today, and I would have a hard time rating books. So once this is what my rating system is. 1 star is didn't finish, 2 stars is finished but didn't enjoy it, 3 stars is it was okay, 4 stars is it was better than okay but it's less than loved it, and then 5 stars is I loved it, and then 6 stars is absolutely obsessed, can't stop thinking about it. And those are like the books that I have that I would give 6 stars is like the Addicted series and Boys of Tommen, like that level of book and series. I think when I'm absolutely obsessed with a book, it's usually like a series. Like I love a good series. Okay, and I think the next book I want to read is, I think I'm gonna hold The Night We Met to the 3rd book, and I'm gonna read The Summer of Second Chances next. And I think I'll have to start this tomorrow, so I look forward to doing that. Hello guys, so it's been a few days, and let me catch you up. So this past weekend I didn't read much at all. Today is Tuesday, and on Friday me and my fiance went to our hometown, well, to his hometown, because we had our engagement photos. So we got our engagement photos done, and then the next day I went wedding dress shopping, and I found my wedding dress, which it is the most beautiful dress I have ever seen, and it's better than anything I could have imagined wearing, and I'm very happy with it. Another update, yesterday I went on a run and I tripped and fell, and that is what caused this mark on my chin. I scraped it, and then I also scraped both of my palms. This one isn't that bad, but this one was much bigger and kind of deeper. And my knee got bruised. But besides that, we're doing well. And that's just, like, falling is very humbling, and I'd recommend not trying to look at the sunrise while you're running. Maybe stop, turn, and look at the sunrise instead of turning your head, and also to beware of uneven sidewalks because they are very dangerous. But I have done some reading of, well, if I'm being honest, I've done a lot of reading of the Summer of Second Chances. I believe I am at the last chapter. So this book is about a girl she goes on a trip to Martha's Vineyard for her stepmom's parents' wedding anniversary celebration, and they go for, it's like a 3-week vacation, and the main character's grandma is in a assisted living facility because she has Alzheimer's and dementia. And her grandma is like the most important person to her, and her grandma traveled a ton and all her life told the stories of the adventures that she's been on. And the main character only recently found out that her grandma had spent time at Martha's Vineyard, and she had never heard any stories about her time there, but she was truly intrigued by it. So she was super excited for this family vacation on Martha's Vineyard, and she wanted to find all the spots where her grandma had spent time at and try to piece together what her grandmother was doing there and who she spent her time with. And there is a romance in there where, like, you know how a romance works. That is definitely not my favorite aspect of the book. I wasn't really getting the romantic vibe between the main character and her love interest. So it's definitely not my favorite romance that I have read, but I have really enjoyed the overall story. And I had a grandparent who had Alzheimer's and dementia, so I really relate to this book, and I have cried reading it a few times, which I cry very easily with things, so it's not really saying too much. But I think it's a great summer book. It's highly recommend reading it during the summertime. It has, obviously, since it's based in Martha's Vineyard, the summer vibes are incredible. And yeah, I think all around it's been just a good, decent book. Just definitely not obsessed with the romance that is happening in it. I would say the book is more about the main character navigating life's challenges and learning to not let difficult things that have happened to her hold her back, or be scared of doing certain things that could be good for her, but she's just too scared to do them. And also, the author of this book is the same as, I've read her before for the Summer of Broken Rules, and I really like that this book is based in the same universe. So the characters that are in the Summer of Broken Rules have little cameos in this book, which I always enjoy when that happens. I haven't read The Summer of Broken Rules in a few years, I think. I know I enjoyed it, I just don't know how much I enjoyed it, and I also don't remember much about it. But yeah, so I'm gonna get ready for bed and then read the last chapter. Okay, I just finished the book and I think I'm gonna give it 4 stars, which in my book rating system, 4 stars is it was better than just okay, but less than I loved it. So, because like while I didn't love the romance part, I really enjoyed the relationship between the main character and her grandmother, and also like the family vacation vibes were really good, and yeah, all around I would say it was a pretty good book. And it just also, like, the whole time I was reading, I just kept thinking of like my relationship with my grandparents, and that would cause some tears throughout the book. And in the acknowledgments it says that the author was like super close to her grandmother, and that her grandmother also had a form of dementia, and it just sucks. Like that's like one of the worst diseases ever, and it's terrible to go through. But highly recommend the book. I recommend reading the book if you want just a good summer read. Okay guys, I am about to start reading The Night We Met. I have pretty high expectations from it. Like, I've loved every Abby Jimenez book, so I am thinking it's gonna go pretty well. Okay, so the thing with Abby Jimenez books is that the characters, like, it all is in one universe, and sometimes characters from other books are in another book, and I need to look up to see if any of these characters have been in other books that I've read, because I can never remember names and stuff. I remember the hospital name that was in one of the books that I can't remember the title of. Let me go see real quick. Okay, so the main male character in this book, his name is Chris. He is in the friend group of the main male character, Xavier, which is in the book Say You'll Remember Me. So I think I'm kind of remembering and connecting dots more. But I guess like the cameos tend to be kind of minor, where like I might not even notice. But also, I feel like she uses very basic man names in her books, which makes them all sound the same to me. Like Mike, Doug, Jesse, Josh, Jacob. You know what I mean? But okay, I'll get back to reading. I finished reading The Night We Met. Yesterday morning I woke up at like 4:45 a.m. and then I laid on the couch and read this book for 3 hours and finished it. I really enjoyed it, of course, because Abby Jimenez writes great books. So this book is about a romance of a guy and his best friend's girlfriend. So there were points in the book where I would get kind of annoyed with the two main characters, just because like it's just kind of a messy situation, and there were times where it was just like clear that they had feelings for each other, but one of them never acknowledged it or realized. So when it got to like a big chunk of the book where it was still like that, I was getting a little annoyed with them. But besides that, it was a great book. I decided to give it 4 stars. The main male character, his name is Chris, I believe. He is a big acts of service man, and I love him a lot. I also wanted to say that Abby Jimenez, in her book, she comes up with some of the most like crazy, silly scenarios to happen, and I love it, and they're always funny and interesting to read about. But yeah, so that's the end of this video. I recommend all 3 books that I read, especially for over the summer. They were great summer reads, and this was my first reading vlog. I feel like I didn't talk too much about the books, but I'm also like, I tried my best. I gave my thoughts of what I had, and yeah, there wasn't too much to say about them. Like, they were all good books. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.